form of inquiry in which practitioners reflect systematically on their practice in order to bring about improvement and to contribute to new knowledge. Action research is practitioner-based, but the essential features are the cyclical stages of acting, observing, reflecting, revising, and then going through the next cycle again. It's about practitioners carrying out research on their own practice rather than other people carrying out research on their practice. So it's an insider form of research as opposed to outsider research. And action research is a form of personal inquiry, but it's also collaborative in that you're working with various people, be it your students, critical friends, and other stakeholders in the research. The focus is about change.
Small-scale research in schools is essential rather than responding to imposed top-down figures that have come from elsewhere or nationally. As important as they are as reference points and guidelines, the impact of small-scale studies by teachers or groups of teachers in similar socioeconomic areas, in similar schools with similar backgrounds will have a huge impact on raising achievement and raising the quality of teaching and learning in schools. Sharing good practice is essential.
What I've done is provided a lot of resources on this wiki page about action research. It's the URLs up here: elementary education, wiki spaces, and then it's action research. And as you could see, there are some YouTube videos on action research that I uploaded for you, as well as some slideshows from SlideShare and Zoho Online. So to get a full picture, I recommend that you just take your time and read through this. And I also provided some links that will give you some other resources. This first reference source offers a nice breakdown of that. And as you could see, here's the cycle. But we're going to be focusing on step 1, which is identifying issues and developing questions. And as it states here, your research topic should reflect an issue of importance to you as a teacher. The study you choose can impact student learning, seek to develop new teacher habits, or address an important issue such as parent involvement. For the purposes of this program, we're recommending that you focus on something that you could complete regarding teachers or parents, because once you involve students, you are working with minors, and that adds some other steps you'd need to take to get approval for using minors. I do believe that the bigger picture is about student learning, but for the purposes of you learning the process, it's best to focus on the teachers at your school or the parents. So if we look at how to really get started, they have some ways to have some starting points. So if you're still struggling with the type of topic you want to focus on, here's some questions that can help direct your action research plan. I'd like to improve what? I'm perplexed by what? I'm really curious about. I want to learn more about. Something I would really like to make a difference or change. Right now, the areas of particular interest. So it's for me, for example, I'm interested in, I would like to learn how to increase the technology use of teachers at my school. So that might be an area that I could focus on. It's manageable, and it's something that I'm very interested in. There's been specific criteria for guiding your action research question to help ensure that the research itself will flow a little smoother. And the question that you saw that I'm going to compare this criteria to is what barriers exist that prevent the SUSD teachers from integrating technology into their classrooms. And the a poorly phrased question related to that might be, is technology good? So you'll hear me refer to both of those examples as I go through this criterion. The first one is clearly stated. So as you heard, the first question, what barriers exist that prevent the SUD teachers from effectively integrating technology? There's a focus and a scope rather than a very broad question such as, is technology good? The second criteria that's been identified is the contextual, and that's, is it embedded in the day-to-day work? I teach gifted elementary students, and one of my job responsibilities is ensuring that teachers differentiate instruction for all their students. So I will, by helping address this question, I will also be doing my work of providing additional strategies to the teachers and what's preventing them from using a very powerful strategy for helping differentiate instruction. Is it manageable? The time constraints, that's the keep it simple process, so that you want to just be able to do it within a time frame that's manageable for you, and given your day-to-day time constraints as well as the time frame that you're setting for yourself for doing this project. Is it open-ended, as opposed to, those are the what, how, where type questions. What barriers exist, as opposed to, is technology good? Is it reflective? Will it help you as a practitioner increase your ability to implement best practices? Again, for me, my job is to help assist the other teachers, so it is part of my job responsibilities. Is it significant? Will it help impact the student's behavior or achievement? I'm coming from a personal belief that technology is good to help differentiate for gifted students, and this, by doing research, it'll help me provide some evidence. And then, is it answerable through data collection, so that I can get some concrete evidence and data about what the barriers are as opposed to a very is technology good just wouldn't help me define any research tools. Introduction to the Action Research Project. What's interesting is even the Action Research has even come to Second Life. This was a project that was developed by a doctoral student from Australia, and you could see right when you come to her island, here's the cycle that's being discussed, that we've discussed as the core of and the framework for the Action Research Project. But a few other things are reinforced in this area, is this idea of, she has it posted on her orientation wall here, that boring and rigorous are not synonyms. And what that means is that I believe, and that's why I like Action Research so much, the teacher really does need to be the researcher. We have things like Second Life and emerging technologies and different reading programs and different curriculums coming out. It appears to be a daily basis. And the only way we're going to prove the efficacy of those programs and curriculums is to be the researchers. The teachers need to show and demonstrate if and how these things are working with their students. I believe Second Life is a very valuable tool in virtual worlds, but unless I could show some hard data, then more traditional teachers won't even take a second glance at it.